there leading the crowd in song, making one more beautiful noise. Joe Fryer, NBC News.
What a great surprise. That's nightly news for this Thursday. Thanks for watching. I'm Lester Holt. Take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
2 workers buried in cement.
They were here illegally. The defendant doesn't think undocumented workers are human beings.
He used and abused them to death.
Who knows how many others he's covered up.
Newswatch 12's Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and meteorologist Jeff Weller bring you the news and weather of the North Woods. Alongside the Newswatch 12 team, they are committed to the community and ensuring the local stories make headlines. The Newswatch 12 team works hard to deliver the most important news from where you live, as well as local weather reports. Watch Dan, Jessica, and Jeff weeknights on WJFW NBC 12. Dan, Jessica, and Jeff bring you the news and weather from where you live weeknights.
Straight ahead, the Wisconsin legislative session is underway. We'll hear from local legislators on what they're hoping to accomplish.
Plus, wages have grown in Wisconsin. We'll see which careers have seen the largest pay increase.
And animal shelters are seeing a change in adoptions. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Newswatch 12 with Dan Hagan, Jessica Jukic, and Conrad Sapinski.
Good evening and welcome to Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic.
And I'm Dan Hagan. With a new legislative session beginning this week in Madison, so does another year of sharing power. This means no one will get all of what they want, so assembly members have to prioritize the most important issues to them. Stevens Point Assemblywoman Katrina Shanklin says she hopes to increase shared revenue, which the governor has also signaled he's in favor of.
I hear from a lot of people in communities across central Wisconsin that they're concerned about the rise in property taxes locally. And that really is a function of the state not sharing the revenue with local governments. So what I want to do is increase shared revenue to our local communities, our counties, our villages, our cities, and our towns. So that way they can afford to cover basic services without having to raise a levy, which in turn raises property taxes.
Schofield Assemblyman Patrick Snyder, on the other hand, says that he hopes to accomplish legislation for child care because of his chairmanship on the Children's and Families Committee.
And I think that we really need to engage on that to try to make it a little bit more easier for some of the folks maybe to start a daycare center or maybe help them in their in-home licensed daycare centers.
The governor has called for a middle-class tax cut, work on reproductive rights, and the legalization of marijuana in his inaugural address on Tuesday.
It's looked beautiful out there with those on and off flurries throughout the day.
Yeah, a lot better than what we had just a couple of days ago.
I'm hoping we can avoid this mess we got this week with this wintry mix. Do we have cold temperatures coming up?
Yeah, I got some good news for you, Dan. I know you like skiing. This is the perfect skiing weather, folks. A little bit of snow on the ground, temperatures in the 20s the next 7 to even 10 days. Taking a look outside right now. We do have cloudy skies in the area, a couple of flurries as well. Most of the heavier snowfall, it is long gone. It's in Michigan right now, and it's going to continue to push east. So we are clear off that. A couple of flurries and lighter snow showers will be in the area into the overnight hours. Temperatures, though, are pretty mild. We should be in the lower teens right now, but we're hovering at around 24 degrees. 26 in Tomahawk, a bit warmer in Wausau. They were at 30 earlier. Now they're at 29. But take a look at Superior and Hayward. Look at these teens trying to sneak in, and that's going to be the case. They're going to win the battle tonight as temperatures continue to go south. We do also have a little bit of fog in the area. Not as thick of a dense fog we had the last couple of days, but still definitely something in the area with a little bit of a wind. We had more breezier conditions earlier today, and now the wind is starting to go a little bit more calm. Tonight, though, temperatures will continue to cool off, and they're going to be hovering in the lower teens. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. Wisconsin pay grew 7.7% in December 2022. Today, ADP Research Institute released its National Employment Reports Pay Insights for December 2022. The median annual salary in Wisconsin is a little over $57,000. Nationally, the largest pay increases were seen in young workers, leisure and hospitality workers, and people who switched jobs last year. Private employers added 235,000 jobs in December. The ADP chief economist says, quote, "The labor market is strong but fragmented, with hiring varying sharply by industry and establishment size." They also found businesses that hired aggressively in the first half of 2022 slowed hiring in December.
Many fire departments across the Northwoods are in need of the next generation of firefighters. A new grant could help with that. The Department of Safety and Professional Services recently announced the 3 recipients of a grant program that provides funding for youth firefighter training programs. Among the winners was Nicolay College in Rhinelander, which will receive $4,000. Its program works with Northland Pines High School and the Eagle River Fire Department. The funds will be used for textbooks, costs for practical exam review, tuition for firefighter skills review, and more, with the goal of giving interested students an easier path toward fighting fires professionally or on a volunteer basis.
Tomahawk students are saving lives with their community project. 2 FCCLA members planned today's Tomahawk High School blood drive. FCCLA gives students an opportunity to make a difference in their communities through service projects.
We felt that it was a great community service project to try and get high school students involved with donating blood. So in the future they can continue to donate blood.
This is the first blood drive at the high school since 2020, where they collected 14 units of blood. This year's goal is to collect 35 units. 43 people pre-registered, so that goal looks to be well within their reach.
All our students do amazing projects to make a difference for others and make an impact, and they're very excited to get their projects implemented and get ready to go compete at regionals.
The students wanted to make sure to thank the businesses and organizations who donated to make the event possible and remind everyone that there's always a need for blood. To find out more information about upcoming blood drives, go to redcross.org. Just like so many others during the pandemic, animal shelters had to change the way they do things.
Early on, people stuck at home wanted an animal companion, but as inflation rose, it became more expensive to have pets. Now things are starting to even out. Newswatch 12's Morgan Johnson talked to some local animal shelters today and has more. Morgan?
That's right. Animal shelters were in a state of flux during the pandemic, sometimes seeing a lot of intakes and adoptions, other times none at all. But now things are finally starting to feel a little more normal. When Amanda Hayden took over as director of the Oneida County Humane Society in 2021, she had a pretty good idea of what she was in for.
I was the assistant director before that and applied for the director position.
She also has a handful of pets that came right from the shelter. But starting her new position in the middle of a pandemic was something nobody could have predicted.
We ended up having to create a wait list.
A new virus called for new procedures and protocols. The animal shelter switched to appointment-only visits and adoptions, which actually benefited them in the long run.
The appointments taught us a lot, just that we are better to care for the animals if we have more staff available for that.
Even through the pandemic, the Oneida County Humane Society found success. They didn't struggle with staffing shortages like many businesses did.
People are very passionate about animals and love working with the animals. So no, we haven't struggled with that. We're very lucky.
And pet adoptions have been steady, similar to nearby shelters like the Marathon and Lincoln County Humane Societies. It's a relief compared to last summer when they saw a big increase in intakes.
Our dog kennels were full, our cat kennels were full.
But even with consistency, Amanda says more adoptions are needed.
There's so many benefits of adopting.
The shelter has around 75 animals right now, including cats, dogs, bunnies, and guinea pigs.
This kitten came to us as a surrender with her litter.
Amanda always welcomes animals in the shelter, but it's better for them to have a forever home.
I mean, we love them and we play with them, but, you know, they do need a place to go. A lot of people have found the loves of their life at an animal shelter. I know I have.
The Oneida County Humane Society is always looking for donations. Right now, they'd like bleach and other cleaning supplies, pet toys, food, and blankets. You can also make a monetary donation.
Thanks, Morgan. It will be a first in the Biden presidency, a trip to the U.S.-Mexico border.
The Sunday visit also comes with a new plan from the president to boost security and speed up the asylum process. We'll have the details after weather with Conrad.
This portion of News Watch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Carpet City.
Uh-oh. Did your holiday hosting create a couple extra stains in your carpet? Or do you just need an update for your old flooring? Come to Carpet City Flooring Center and start your year off right with free carpet installation. That's right, free carpet installation. If money is a little tight, Carpet City Flooring Center can help make your project affordable with interest-free financing. Get your free carpet installation today.
Carpet City. Our prices will floor you.
With 6 crunchy beef tacos plus a pound of potato olays, our 6-pack in a pound is perfect for date night, movie night, 1,000-piece puzzle night, camping, tailgates, or any day that ends in Y.
Get $2 off the 6-pack in a pound, only from Taco John's.
Get up to 80% off list prices during our huge inventory reduction sale at Slumberland Furniture. $20 million worth of furniture and mattresses must go. Lowest prices around on TV consoles, recliners, bar stools, sofas, mattresses, and lots more. Get the deal of a lifetime on clearance, one-of-a-kinds, scratch and dents, and more. Stores are packed with merchandise that must go. Up to 80% off at the huge inventory reduction sale on now at Slumberland Furniture.
The unknown is not empty. It's a storm that crashes and consumes, replacing thought with worry. But one thing can calm uncertainty: an answer. Uncovered through exploration, teamwork, and innovation. An answer that leads to even more answers. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
Stay on top of breaking news and the biggest stories of the day with NBC News Daily. Get in-depth reporting from across the country and around the world. Tips to take care of your health and your wallet. And up-to-the-minute local news. NBC News Daily. Weekdays on NBC.
And welcome back, guys. It is a Thursday night. The sun has finally set, but take a look behind me. The shot, it is still beautiful out there. All of the lights making it look like a nice winter wonderland out there. Pretty much with a little bit of snow sprinkled in, it really does make it feel like a nice winter day. Temperatures were not as cold all across America. We got those warmer temperatures down south, going all the way up the eastern seaboard. Even New York City was in on 50s earlier today. And now everyone is going to start to cool off, but slightly. We don't have any strong cold fronts in the area that's really going to cool us off, kind of like by Christmas. You remember that? In Florida, they even had some teens and single digits. Right now and earlier today, we were above average all across the state. 29, that was the high pretty much in the area. 31 just down south. Even Wausau was in on some mid-30s, so some above average temperatures and above freezing as that. So that snow and ice was definitely melting out there, but now things are starting to refreeze, so be careful out there. Our average should be around 23 degrees this time of year with an average low of around 5. So that is definitely much colder than what we've been having the last couple of days, and that above average trend will be continuing with us. Take a look at this next week. Sunday into Monday, we have temperatures once again coming close to 30, slightly cooling off and not much of a cool down to around 21 by midweek, and then once again warming up to those mid-20s by the end of next week. So we're going to be in a drier and a more warmer weather pattern the next couple of weeks here in town. Cloudy skies right now. A couple of flurries are also lingering, but overall, things are starting to calm down. The heavier batches of snow are in Michigan right now and still lingering closer to Green Bay. But as you can see, it's continuing to move south and east. And as it does, that whole low pressure system will be leaving and it will be out of the area. Right now, it's pretty weak right now. It's starting to weaken and it's continuing in and around the Ohio area. But that's going to continue to weaken and quickly dissipate. But the next low pressure system, this one is in the west, producing a lot of rain and a lot of snow all throughout the western side of America. Even some really windy conditions, up to 94-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That's over hurricane criteria of wind gusts by the coast. And this is just because a low pressure system that really started to intensify with a cold front coming in. And that's exactly what happened. But that's going to be interesting because that's not going to be reaching us. We're actually going to be pretty dry the next week. Our next chances of some snow showers, especially some flurries, will occur pretty much on Tuesday and then once again on Thursday as another low pressure system moves into the area. This one does look like it's going to be trending much more south of Chicago. So that means for us just some lingering snow showers and cooler air in the region. Our 7-day outlook brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress does show lots of sunshine with temperatures above average into next week. Dan?
A new study finds Earth's glaciers will melt at an alarming rate for the next 80 years unless drastic action is taken. Our planet has 215,000 glaciers, but researchers used satellite data to determine up to half of them could be gone by the year 2100. If global temperatures rise to what the United Nations is forecasting, then the United States would lose almost all of its glaciers. That would be a big problem globally because glaciers provide fresh water to nearly 2 billion people. They also contribute to rising sea levels when they melt, which could threaten billions of people living in coastal areas. President Joe Biden is teeing up an upcoming visit to the U.S.-Mexico border by outlining plans to address the record number of migrants swamping the border.
Biden also called on Congress to help with new immigration laws while the Republican-led House remains paralyzed by their failure to elect a speaker. Karen Kafa reports from Washington.
President Joe Biden laying out new plans to stem a massive influx of migrants at the U.S. southern border that his Homeland Security Secretary said this week is straining the system.
I know it's a complicated issue. I don't want to pretend there's anything easy about it.
The U.S. will accept up to 30,000 migrants per month from Nicaragua, Cuba, Haiti, and Venezuela in an expansion of the so-called humanitarian parole program. Those migrants must apply for U.S. entry before leaving their home countries. Those who do not come to the U.S. under that program may be expelled under Title 42, the Trump-era policy that allows immigration authorities to swiftly return some migrants to Mexico and remains in place after a Supreme Court order last month as legal challenges continue.
In the meantime, my administration will continue to use that authority as the Supreme Court has required.
Biden's remarks are ahead of a visit to El Paso, Texas Sunday, his first to the U.S. southern border as president and en route to a leaders summit in Mexico City where migration will be discussed. He called on Congress to pass sweeping immigration reform, arguing his executive powers can only do so much. It's an area where he faces criticism even from some border state Democrats, but especially the GOP. But right now, the House remains mired in an internal Republican fight over a speaker.
On the big stuff, we all agree, right? We want to secure the border. We don't want the executive branch to do everything through a pen and a phone.
Until a House Speaker is elected, no members of either party can be sworn in, no committees can be seated, and no legislation can be introduced. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
A local high school will only be playing JV football next year.
That story, plus a Wisconsin library is eliminating fees. We'll explain when we come back.
It's your last chance to ring in the new year with a new appliance from Furniture and Appliance Mart. Save up to $700 on Frigidaire packages. Washer and dryer pairs start at $10.99. Over-the-range microwaves start at $229. And free platinum delivery. Only at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
GMC Sierra with hands-free driving offers the most advanced and luxurious pickup in its class. Yeah, it rocks.
All your local news is just a swipe away with the new and improved Newswatch 12 mobile app. Download the app on all your devices for local news, school closings, full video newscasts, and more. Newswatch 12, news from where you live.
There will always be bumps in the road. But we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey.
So stop by your Ford dealer today and choose one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs ready for delivery. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
Bag sale, 15% off. So I was thinking we could fix up a few things around here. New cordless drill, so we can finally hang those pictures. LED bulbs, that'll help with the electric bill. Picked up some toothpaste for us. Always need batteries. New coat of paint for the mudroom. And finally, something to unclog that basement sink.
The bag is back. Hurry in and get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag now at Menards.
New set, new look, Newswatch 12. Our team works around the clock to bring you the news that matters most of all to the Northwoods. We are committed to the community and ensuring that you are as informed as possible. NBC Newswatch 12. News from where you live.
It's your last chance to ring in the new year with a new mattress from Furniture and Appliance Mart. Right now, save over $1,300 instantly on Beauty Rest Select mattresses. Or get 5 years no-interest financing on all Purple and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Ending soon at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
This portion of Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Slumberland.
Northland Pines High School announced today that they'll only field the JV football team this year. According to a press release, the decision is due to a low number of upperclassmen. Their activities director said the district wants to avoid the injuries that underclassmen got last season. But the plan is to return to a varsity schedule in 2024. 2 years ago, Pines ended their season early because of low numbers and injuries. A public library in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin is putting an end to late fees.
The city is hoping this will make library materials accessible to more people. Mary Jo Ola spoke to some avid readers who are celebrating the move.
The library director says eliminating overdue fines is about improving everyone's access to a valuable resource that really belongs to the community.
He loves books, so he just plows through that.
You can probably tell Maria Rogowski's 4-year-old son, Avi, is quite the bookworm. Since Wauwatosa cut overdue fines for kids' materials a few years ago, Maria noticed how helpful that was.
It's always nice because when you get a lot of them, you sometimes forget 1 or 2 of them when you return them.
New this year, the library board expanded its fine-free policy to the young adult and adult sections. It essentially covers the entire collection. Turns out there are a lot of fans.
I think that's actually really great because it doesn't discourage people from checking out maybe more books than they would.
I think it's an excellent idea. Anything that encourages people to read and use the library. Such a precious resource.
So wonderful. I mean, I can remember as a kid, you know, getting fines up to my parents' dismay, and then, you know, not wanting to come to the library.
Library director Peter Luffel says the overdue fines were once thought to get materials returned sooner.
The research shows that it doesn't have an impact, and in fact, it does present a barrier to access because it can discourage people from checking out materials at all.
Existing overdue fines will be waived for items returned late. People who don't return materials at all will still be on the hook to cover a replacement fee. Also, the fine-free policy only applies to materials owned by Wauwatosa's library. More libraries across the country are taking the fine-free approach. Luffel says those who got rid of the overdue fines have seen an increase in the number of items returned.
What we hope to see from this is just a greater engagement with the community. The libraries have a wealth of information available for the community, and it is their library, and we want to make it as easy as possible for them to use it.
At Hardee's, no matter what you choose, it's the right choice. Because our new 4 for $6 deal lets you make your own combo. Mix and match, then feast or snack on the food you're craving, all for just $6. Combine your favorite flavors into the perfect deal with our new 4 for $6 menu, only at Hardee's.
It's good to be back.
Let's do it.
Months ago, I worked a gang case. Are they coming after me now?
Mom, what's going on?
NYPD! Drop your weapon. Drop it now!
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start?
Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. For a limited time, be one of the first 100 callers who schedule a free in-home consultation and receive $500 off.
1-800-908-7527. That's 1-800-908-7527.
Factory trained and certified installers made in the USA, and discounts for seniors and military. BCI Bath & Shower, the leader in affordable bathroom products.
This week,
Happy New Year to all.
Super champion Ray Lalonde is on a streak into 2023 with 12 wins.
Ray Lalonde survives yet another scare.
And over $350,000.
Let's do a true daily double. All of it at stake.
Now, can he put together another streak week?
Everybody's off to a great start.
Next Jeopardy!
Jeopardy! Weekdays at 4:30 on NBC 12.
Nothing tastes better than savings. Hardee's new 4 for $6 deal lets you mix and match your favorite flavors. That's sweet, savory, crispy, crunchy, or beefy, all for just $6. Create your favorite combinations with our new 4 for $6 deal, only at Hardee's.
This may be old news for some of you, but this will not be happening this year. What you see on your screen, the ice castle will not happen. Not the right conditions. The ice is not thick enough.
I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty disappointed. I was looking forward to going to see it.
Yeah, but kind of, you know, what makes it special is maybe it doesn't happen every year. So next year, hopefully.
Yeah, when I came out here in February last year, it was there. I thought it was like a yearly thing, but wow, that is so unfortunate.
It can be something we look forward to next year.
For next year?
Exactly,
yeah. Taking a look outside right now, though, weather-wise, yeah, definitely not ice castle weather. Temperatures are a bit on the mild end. A little bit of cloud cover in the region. Some flurries are still lingering all across the area. But all across America, though, temperatures are above average. Even Maine had some 40s earlier today. Our 7-day outlook does show a pretty dry next week.
Looks like a nice weekend.
It does.
Thank you, Conrad. We'll see you back here at 10.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio.